While Sakurai started the show by saying these would be the final fighters of the retail roster, he closed things out by discussing DLC and a surprise extra character. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here. We just wrapped the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, and there was a lot to dig through. But I think one of the most exciting elements of this presentation was the confirmation of DLC. I think we knew that was going to happen, but hearing the details was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know what this does to the rumor of DLC characters being revealed during the Game Awards, although maybe they show the first couple, because they say that they don't even know what the characters are because they haven't started working on it. They were very upfront about the fact that they're selling you this before they even know what it is.
Right, which is a little strange. I mean, not unheard of to announce DLC without the full details, but they have very little outside of the framework here. So let's go over that and then get into the limited time offer character, which I think was maybe the biggest moment of the entire show. So you're getting 5 DLC characters that will be sold in these little packs of a character, a stage, and music tracks for $5.99. Then you can also buy the Fighter's Pass, which will give you all 5 characters, all 5 stages, and all the music tracks for $25. So it's $30 piecemeal or $25 together, and they say it may take up to a year to release all the characters. So by that account, you're looking at a fighter every 2 to 3 months.
That's a little slow, but honestly, it'll be fine, just because it's going to take people a while to master like these new characters. I don't remember exactly how often they release in the Wii U version.
Now, because comparisons are inevitable, let's touch on how this relates to Smash 4 DLC and the pricing model there. When it was just a character, it was $3.99, but when it included a new stage as well, it was the same $5.99 price. So we're looking at a very similar structure to the last game. They bundled all 7 new fighters from Smash 4 for $35 last time around, which does again equate to $5 per character, which is what you're getting if you buy the bundled Season Pass, Fighter's Pass. So very similar. I will note that in Smash 4, it took them over a year to introduce all 7 characters. The first one, Mewtwo, did not release until April, which is about 7 months after the launch of the game. So we are getting PD Piranha Plant combo character coolness 2 months after, or at least targeting 2 months after in February. No specific date there. And then I'm assuming, like we mentioned, every 2 or so months you'll get a new one. So a bit of an expedited release from time of launch to DLC, which I like. And they aren't, messing with the model that they have already established for price. I think the reveal of Piranha Plant is helping to mitigate the fact that you don't know who everyone else is, and that it is free if you pre-order the game or plug in the code for a physical version. And the fact that they said, okay, this is the full roster, we don't know the DLC isn't being worked on, but actually we do have a character that's coming around February. That is sort of like I don't know, to me that's like an olive branch of saying okay, hey, we don't know what the DLC is going to be, but as long as you're in on the game, you get this for free. Now you can, let's be clear, get Piranha Plant without ever purchasing any DLC. There's no direct tie between the two, but I feel like that's sort of a way to say hey, there is something to get excited for, even though we don't know exactly what this DLC pack is going to look like.
Yeah, and just to be clear, in case people are confused, Piranha Plant is not part of the DLC. Just throwing that out there.
Nor part of the original retail game.
Correct. Just to be blunt, and so that people don't get confused, Piranha Plant is something free and separate, not part of the $25 season pass or fighter pass that they have going on there.
Right. And he to me is such an oddball character. I think it's awesome, and I do think it opens the doors for some really exciting DLC characters. Speculation and predictions for those obviously will probably center around characters we've heard about in the past or rumored about in the past, people like Geno and whatnot. But when you introduce Piranha Plant, anything is kind of possible. And Sakurai did say that they would be creating these characters from scratch, which is, of course, obvious considering that the whole roster is back together. But it kind of, to me, I felt like there's an undertone of hey, we might get really creative with these. I did again think it was odd that they say they haven't started working on them. So the Game Awards rumor of they're going to reveal DLC there, is that enough time? I mean, the game's out in a month and they say they haven't started, so are they going to be able to put together a trailer or some sort of package to show off? I don't know. But how do you feel about the price point? Is $6 okay? $25? Are you getting the Fighter's Pass? Are you okay with them not saying who's there, or is that maybe even more exciting to kind of go in blind box style?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like for me, like not knowing who they are is more exciting because I am gonna want the 5 additional Smash Brothers characters. That is not even a question in my mind. So yes, for me, the purchase would be worth it. It includes a stage, and if the stages are really cool and based on who the characters are gonna be, of course, like those could be really cool. The music tracks don't do as much for me. Like I know a lot of people are really, really into music and Smash. For me, that's just like a thing that I don't pay attention to as much. I'm more focused on the fighters and the stages, but I think it's a decent value. Because look, let's say, would you have rather paid $3 for just the character and not the stage and the music? You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's a little pricey, but you're getting more than the character. So I'm okay with that. I can't envision a world where I'm playing Smash and I don't want these 5 characters, whatever they end up being. And yes, that mystery blind box aspect to it, it makes it more exciting, at least from my personality type. That's how I see it.
Well, I think especially since they decided to go all up front with the main game and say, like, here's everything. I mean, they even showed us the help screen, right? So there's not a whole lot left to surprise outside of World of Light. I do like having that intrigue. And as you mentioned, you know that it's probably going to be cool. I don't think there's any way that they just mess this up completely. I think the price point is fine. I mean, 25 is not bad for 5 additional fighters. It may seem bad when you compare it to, oh my gosh, you're getting 74 and all this for $60, and I'm sure there is a bit of an argument to be made there, but that's kind of the case with how DLC always runs. You look at like the Spider-Man Season Pass, and is that equitable to the full game and what's all there? You look at even the Breath of the Wild Season Pass, is that equitable to a third of the full package? It never really works out numerically exactly right, but I think this is fine. And honestly, the inclusion of the stages to me is really cool and really exciting. I think that's a better way to do this. It ups the value, and like that's exciting. It's alluring to look forward to. Okay, not only do we get a new fighter, but a new stage based on that fighter, especially if said fighters will be from franchises that don't see much representation in Super Smash Bros. Then that new stage, I think, just becomes all the more hype worthy, and will expand the game once each pack comes out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have variants of the stages as well. One thing to note, Isaac will not be one of the new fighters because he has been revealed to be an assist trophy, and he looked cool in the game slightly, but yeah, he's not going to be fully playable. The Grinch rumor, clearly not real anymore. Like, it's not a thing whatsoever because Incineroar was never mentioned there. And Isaac, who was rumored to be a full-on character, is an assist trophy, so we can throw that out of here completely. I'm hoping for some really like insane characters here. I know people don't like it when I say this, but like Goku levels of insane. Like I hope something like that happens with this fighter pass or Waluigi.
Yeah, I mean, Waluigi would be a real wild one to save for the final character. I mean, this is going to carry across to E3 2019, given that they are saying a year. You're looking all the way through the end of 2019 potentially, which will give them time to tout these characters, and I bet that they are really tied to directs, and we'll get like trailers throughout the directs, which is kind of cool to keep the hype of Smash Bros. Going for a full year. Do you think there's any chance that they go beyond this ever, or is it 5 characters plus Piranha Plant and then we're 100% out?
You read my mind. First of all, Sakurai like blinked at us a couple of times and said, "Will I ever get to rest?" Sakurai, the answer is no. You did this to yourself. And yeah, I'm wondering if there's like a fighter pass like season 2 or something like that. That's exactly what I was about to ask you. Gosh, how many more? Never make another Smash Brothers game. Just keep adding to this one forever.
Yeah, I mean, there's 74 in the base game. Piranha Plant makes 75, and then 5 more make 80. So I feel like the fact that they did throw Piranha Plant into the mix and they are getting this to an even 80,
that might be it.
That might be it. It feels like it makes sense. I don't know. It feels like a year, basically, what I'm trying to say is how long they support their major games with DLC. We did hear the president. Well, yeah. Well, we heard that the president say that they want to pump DLC for their tentpole releases, and so I think a full year of that is plenty. By that point, you're moving on to DLC for Animal Crossing, and DLC hopefully for Metroid Prime, and DLC maybe for Luigi's Mansion. So I do think this will be it. Never say never with Sakurai. I mean, he started the presentation by saying these are the final characters in the game. And then Piranha Plant, I know technically not in the game, but they mess with like the little minutia so much there. There's no more new characters. Wait, there's DLC. Wait, there's a hybrid DLC, not DLC character. It's kind of funny how they just work their words and constantly keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Look, and some people might be bothered by that, but that's one of my favorite things about Sakurai. He's so, like, unpredictable, and yeah, he doesn't, like, light us outright, but you can't take what he says at face value, which I kind of appreciate in a funny, interesting way. So, yeah, I'm happy with this, and I'm glad we have confirmation that DLC is coming for Smash Brothers, because there is a world where we just didn't have any.
Yes. So that's the scoop on DLC. Super exciting to see it announced and super curious to see who they create for the final 5. Let us know in the comments down below your take on the DLC. Will you be buying the Fighter's Pass? Are you pumped? How do you feel about Piranha Plant? And who do you think they'll bring to the table once they get them going, since they say that they haven't thus far? Gabe, I'm really excited to see who they make, and if some of the rumored characters do rear their head here, and if third party is a part of this. Third party was a heavy component of the last DLC package. Will that be the case here, or will they just go creative on the first party front like they did with Piranha Plant? Let us know what you think in those comments. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and Super Smash Bros. We've got you covered as soon as new info comes out, and of course with the base game in December and beautiful Piranha Plant in hopefully February. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter and Discord, links in the description below. And for myself and Gabe, a fantastic day. We love you. Switch Force out.